Welcome once again, everyone. Welcome to this special Valentine's Day episode. Love is truly in the air for this movie.
There's a lot more in the air in this movie than just love.
Lord.
Possibly some sexually transmitted infections.
Shit. I'm Nathan, your halfway guy.
And I'm Nick, your one-step bro. Today we are doing a little movie called Cruel Intentions.
Dangerous Liaison. Oh. Well, it's called Cruel Intentions here. Life is cruel.
Why should the afterlife be any different?
My crew.
Join my crew.
My crew. James Norton.
Today we're doing Pirates of the Caribbean. No, we're not.
We're doing Cruel Intentions.
We are doing Dangerous Liaisons on the CW, essentially.
Also, I think the book is called that.
The book is called Dangerous Liaisons, and it was adapted into this 90s YA film.
Also, the 25th anniversary of Cruel Intentions.
25th anniversary of this doozy of a fucking sleaze fest.
Stars a bunch of young actresses coming up at the time as well. Released in 1999, directed by Roger Kumble, starring Ryan Phillippe as Sebastian, Danger-Prone Daphne as Catherine. That's right.
Now who's the damsel in distress?
Yes. Buffy, that one girl from Scream that gets thrown out the window or the balcony.
What's her name in Scream 2?
I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter.
Sorority Girl 1.
Elle Woods, attorney at law as Annette, and Selma Blair as the most likable character in the movie. So
there's a lot of people in this.
There was a lot of up and coming actresses who were in this essentially a horny ass team young YA movie,
like drama. This dark comedy too. Would you call this a dark comedy?
Yes, dark comedy as well. Definitely a take on the elite and what cruel games we play.
This movie is centered around yuppies, essentially.
Yuppies. Wealthy young to-dos, yeah.
Yuppies minus the jobs, I guess, because they're all supposed to be teenagers.
They're Nepo babies.
Yeah.
No, they're in college. They're Nepo babies, yeah.
This is college?
Yeah, that's what they're going into, right?
What is... Because they call the school Westchester or something?
I thought they were all in college.
I thought it was like some private school.
I thought it was some private college. I don't fucking know.
Why don't I just read the IMDb summary?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Have we done anything like this before?
I don't know if we've done a rom-com or like a young... No, we did Twilight.
This is about as much a rom-com as Twilight is a horror movie.
Yes, there you go.
Two vicious step-siblings of an elite Manhattan prep school make a wager to deflower the new headmaster's daughter before the start of term. That's what it's centered around, but here and there's lots of feelings in this movie.
Everyone has a lot of feelings.
And
Everyone's very angry and sad and horny.
This is one of the most sexually depraved movies I've ever seen.
Yes.
When did you first see this?
I don't actually remember much here. I remember watching, to be honest, I'd only seen parts of it until we were supposed to do this a while ago for the podcast, and I watched it then.
We've been wanting to do this.
Yes, but then the SAG strike came down and we just didn't do it. I think I saw parts of this in high school, but I just remembered Selma Blair.
Never caught it on TV. Is that what it was?
No, never. I just remember Selma Blair and the scene between her and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
You're a guy. Of course you remember that.
Of course.
I watched this a couple of years ago. I was visiting my friend Oscar in Tucson. Mm-hmm. Shout out to him. And I was like, I've never seen this. And he was like, you've never seen this? And he put it on immediately. The only other man in the world that I think loves movies more than us
is him. Yes.
I look into it and I understand why people talk the way they talk and why everything's acted the way it is. Why the story is so grossly over the top.
Yes.
It's because it's based on a book.
Yes, absolutely. Dangerous Liaisons. We have not read that.
From what I understand is that this kind of follows that story pretty closely. It just changes it to modern day. There's a reason this movie's been remembered as long as it is. It's kind of a cult hit at this point.
Yes. We all got enjoyment out of this movie, for sure. I would definitely have to agree.
Do you have anything else to add before we get into this porn fest?
This is just like a young adult movie that is just going for it in the sleaze fest of the late 90s.
The sleaze factor is high in this one, dude.
Super grotesque.
We open on a cemetery.
Flying by.
How subtle of this movie to open a sprawling shot of the cemetery. The camera shows Ryan Phillippe driving in his very vintage
Jaguar Roadster, something, whatever he calls
convertible.
it.
And it's just like, oh, subtle, you know.
He's Sebastian. This guy's name is Sebastian.
Look at all the hearts he's broken. Look at all the people he's buried.
Yes.
And he's on his way to therapy. He's just creepy. like from the get-go.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just a little fucking weirdo. That's really how I would describe it.
Ryan Phillippe in this movie. I'll get to that, but he's just a little creepy. He's just saying just like, I used to be obsessed with sex.
Yes.
You yourself are very attractive or something. I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
How can I? And I'm just like, I can't tell if you're overacting or underacting.
Didn't you say everyone's either doing one of each? Nobody's acting like normal. Everyone's either overacting or underacting.
Yeah. A lot of the acting in this feels very stage acting.
This is a soap opera.
This is a daytime soap.
This is a soap opera.
This is a daytime soap rated R. Yeah. Very close to an NC-17.
I mean, soap operas are horny as shit.
Yeah, but how much can they really show on cable television?
Daytime television.
It'll be grueling, mind-numbing, and repetitive. Well, eventually he leaves this therapist's office, and this therapist, like this middle-aged woman, is kind of full of herself too.
Yes.
She tries pushing her book on him and whatnot, and you can tell he's not right in the head, or he's just kind of like acting a certain way. When he leaves, she gets a call from her daughter, played by Tara Reid, who's just crying. This guy fucked me, and then he fucked me. Literally.
I loved him. I trusted him.
He told me I had pretty legs and he wanted to photograph me, which is exactly what he said to the therapist.
Yes.
Just a minute ago. So it turns out that Sebastian
seduced the therapist's daughter
and then took nudie photos of her and posted them online
with the cover of the book that the therapist was pushing.
The book is called How to Raise a Good Child, but he changed it to How to Raise a Good Slut.
Yes. Horrible. It's just horrible. Super egregious.
Therapist runs after him and is just banging on a window from an
I'll get you.
From an atrium like it's The Graduate or something, and he's just down there just looking at her, just smiling, just grinning like
and picks up another girl that's in the
other broad just walks up to him and is just like, what's her problem? He's all like, she just needs therapy, I guess. How's it going? She's like, hey, starts twirling her hair.
I'm going to take you to lunch. And they, I guess, go to lunch.
They don't even know each other's names.
Don't even know. She has no idea.
Ryan Phillippe, he's a womanizer.
He's a bastard.
He's a sleazy womanizer. He's got a reputation, but he is not the only one in this world.
There's someone even worse.
I would argue he's worse at the beginning.
Okay, just as bad. We'll call it just as bad.
But eventually we meet Sarah Michelle Gellar, who plays his stepsister, Catherine. She's the most popular girl at this prep school.
Yes.
And is currently, when we meet her, taking under her wing this new student played by Selma Blair.
Yes. So Selma Blair's mom wants her to get into this. I'm just gonna call it a private college. That just seems like what it is. We'll call it an academy, whatever it seems like. She really wants her into this private academy. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is very popular. Her character's there. So Christine Baranski, right?
Christine Baranski is Selma Blair's mom.
That's right.
Martha May.
Martha May, who herself from The Grinch Stole Christmas, is in this movie. And she wants Selma Blair to get into this school. And it's very clear that even Christine Baranski's character is aware of Ryan Phillippe, of Sebastian's reputation.
Yeah, it's a whole other world, like any other, like a lot of these like rich people like know each other. It's all just like a very upper class like community of rich people that all know each other, have reputations, living in the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
Probably.
And whatnot.
She even says, "Hey, Catherine, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, I want her. I know you have a great reputation. What do you do?" And she goes, "Well, when I'm feeling stressed, I turn to God," and holds up her little rosary.
Yep.
Which will come back later with a cross on it. And she goes, "You're so good, unlike your brother Sebastian."
Cue Sebastian. He walks in.
right into the room.
He just walks in and he's just like, "Oh, I hear my ears ringing," or some shit. And he's just,
I hear their name. That's
he's
me.
just throwing his weight around, being an asshole.
He's being quippy, doing all that stuff. Meanwhile, Selma Blair is just innocently sitting there.
Selma Blair acting like a sixth grader. This entire movie.
This is like the best part. She just overacts like she's 12, which is the funniest. It's so bizarre.
It's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable, but it's my favorite part of the movie because it's so bizarre and funny.
It's overacted to be a contrast to like everybody else in this community, essentially.
Yes. She's overacting this innocence.
Yeah, this childlike innocence, but it just comes across as cringy. Sarah Michelle Gellar is essentially going to take Selma Blair under her wing, but she has ulterior motives.
She does.
Ryan Phillippe and Sarah Michelle Gellar in this, they're step siblings and they have this very mean-spirited kind of play asshole to each other relationship. But the one thing that they both are on par, that they both kind of like
agree on and bond on
is just, like you said, ruining lives.
Ruining lives. What a fun pastime.
Yeah. Just being complete shits, being able to, flaunt their, lifestyle and throw their weight around.
Yeah.
And see how much they just crave power.
That's what they want. Yep. Power.
They just like playing games with each other where they can find out who can fuck over more people or something.
Yeah. It's pretty much who can break more hearts, ruin more lives, do everything.
Yes.
They're pieces of shit.
Yeah, and they're rich as hell. No one can touch them. But Sarah Michelle Gellar has it out for Selma Blair because she was dumped by her boyfriend because her boyfriend is supposed to get with Selma Blair.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar was trying to get with this guy, but he ended up not wanting her because he wanted Selma Blair.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But for the sake of the plot, it happens. And Sarah Michelle Gellar doesn't take rejection like that.
No, she's a vindictive fucking cold ass ice
She's
queen
a
in
bitch,
this.
yeah.
And she is probably the best thing in this movie,
It's
too.
very fun to watch her be a bitch.
Owns every scene in this movie. I think it's probably the most memorable part of it.
Yes.
She's just like one of the greatest movie villains ever in this.
So Selma Blair and Christine Baranski go ahead and leave, and a bet is made at that point.
They decide to make a wager. Well, she explains to Ryan Phillippe, here's what I'm going to do to fuck over Selma Blair. Turn her into just a laughingstock of the school, essentially.
Yes.
He's like, why not go after your ex? And she's like, oh, it could be traced back to me. But Ryan Phillippe's like, I have my own idea. I
want a challenge.
What, fucking the therapist's daughter wasn't a challenge? He's like, she overcharged.
Yes.
And I was like, no, that's kind of funny.
What a bastard.
Manchester's getting a new headmaster. They both go there, and they're both very well known.
Yes.
Because everybody who goes to school is just rich as shit. He decides, I want to fuck
deflower. Specifically use that word. He used that deflower the headmaster's daughter.
Very publicly virginal daughter, because apparently she wrote a manifesto that got published
in
about
17 magazine about waiting for the person you're in love with.
Chastity until marriage, essentially. And she is played by Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Who I always forgot was in this movie.
Yeah, you kind of forget.
He decides to make a wager with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
Already, the plot of this movie is just so preposterous.
It's so sleazy and preposterous.
But
the wager is what, Nick?
If he can deflower Reese Witherspoon before the start of the school year, if he loses, Sarah Michelle Gellar gets his car.
His Jaguar Roadster, his convertible you saw him driving around in the beginning. But if he wins, what does Sarah Michelle Gellar offer him?
Herself.
He gets to sleep with his stepsister.
And
why?
She
because
knows
it's the one thing he can't have.
It's the one girl he can't have.
Crazy.
It's the one girl he can't have. Ugh.
What the fuck? How did they made fun of this in Not Another Teen movie?
Yes. Mia Kirshner is constantly trying to fuck Chris Evans in that movie.
Why do we keep talking about movies like this? Why does this keep happening? We did this in Black Christmas too.
Before that, we did this in an episode we haven't even released yet.
God, we gotta stop talking about this movie.
We gotta stop talking about the
why do we keep having incest in these movies?
Incest or semi-incest.
Oh God.
Sleazy is a word that'll come up. Over the top is another one that'll come up. Melodramatic
is the
top
top word. So that's the bet. Deflower Reese Witherspoon and fuck your sister, or don't and lose your car. And he goes, well, I got to keep that car. So his first order of business is to go spend some time with, I think their aunt.
Louise Fletcher plays their aunt.
Their aunt were...
Reese Witherspoon is staying with the aunt. I don't remember why.
I think they're just getting used to everything and just getting used to meeting people and stuff like that. She has a connection to the school as well, yeah.
That's why. Reese Witherspoon's hanging out there in that, Great Gatsby mansion or whatever the hell.
Yes.
Ryan Phillippe wastes no time and he goes to court Reese Witherspoon. But Reese Witherspoon already knows who he is.
She is aware of his reputation.
Yes, she is, because someone wrote her a letter before she moved to New York, because she's from Kansas originally, and now that, she's got to move to New York to come to this prep school because her dad's going to work there. The letter is only for steer clear of this son of a bitch.
This guy's an asshole. Yeah.
This guy will ruin your life.
Womanizer will fuck you and
leave you high and dry.
Yes.
me.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, this is an unexpected step in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how the dialogue is through most of this movie. It's very...
Yeah, it's kind of anime-like, where it's like internal dialogue, but he says it out loud.
Yeah, I'm tired of these insipid Manhattan yuppie sluts.
Yes.
I want a real challenge or something.
Yes.
It's just like, no, people didn't talk like this back then.
Nobody
dude.
ever talked like this.
No one ever talked like this. Least alone young people in the
Yes.
90s, whether they were rich or not.
Yes.
Their dialogue back and forth is corny soap opera. I'll give it this. It makes it fascinating to watch.
Yes.
Almost like you're watching a whole nother world. Honestly.
You can't just have your characters announce how they feel.
Oh, they're constantly announcing how they feel.
That makes me feel angry.
But so yeah, the plot thickens. Reese Witherspoon's like, okay, Ryan Phillippe, you're this person. I've heard this about you.
Good luck. Fuck you. See ya.
Not really. She's a little intrigued by
She got it, but
him.
she's like, I know what you are. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not falling for his bullshit. Ryan Phillippe sets out on a quest to find out who wrote that letter.
Who ruined
Because,
my chance
like
here?
we said, he's a vindictive little snob.
Just like Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, yes. You cross him, they go for revenge. And he enlists the help of a blonde Joshua Jackson.
Yes.
His,
Gay weed dealer?
because he's got a bong on his desk for some reason.
Yeah, well, he's also growing plants.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He's this gay partner in crime. He like gets him to do dirty stuff with him and whatnot. Coincidentally, he's like, oh yeah, this one dude I fuck around with who's closeted
Who's a closeted homosexual
knows Reese Witherspoon. Maybe he wrote it
from Kansas.
because you've totally screwed him over. But that not entirely coincidental because this guy goes to Manchester also.
Yes, they all go to the same school.
They all go to the same school. This guy's a football star. And that's another thing that's hilarious about this movie is all the archetypes.
Yes.
Heartless rich kids. You got the pure and compassionate, like good girl and like the really innocent, like childlike character. Like the football jocks they're always talking about their dicks and shit.
Everything's dialed to 11. Everyone's a complete how would I put it? A farce of themselves.
Yeah.
Everything's so to an extreme.
Everyone's a caricature. It's straight up a show off of television from the 90s too.
Yes.
If you got the R rating.
This is nothing like Buffy.
I was going to say this is something on par with
Total Drama Island. Reminds me of like Charmed or something like that.
Charmed, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of Dawson's Creek thrown in there.
There you go. Degrassi.
Degrassi,
like
yeah.
Young kids bullshit. Young adult bullshit.
Young adult, is like nothing else in the world matters except the drama that's in front of you. Joshua Jackson is going to help him blackmail
football player
Eric Mabius, who would go on to be Matt in Resident Evil. But he admits, I never wrote the letter. I don't know what you're talking about. Because it catches him in the act, like getting with Joshua Jackson. But he's a football star, and he's just like, no,
he's
I can't.
going to blackmail everyone the fact that he's gay. Like that's what he's going to do.
Yes.
And so he uses that against him because he doesn't want his reputation ruined, which is horrible.
Fine,
Just horrible.
Fine, I believe you didn't write the letter, but here's what you're going to do for me. You're going to hype me up to Reese Witherspoon because you're friends with her.
Yes.
And so he does.
They have like a stroll on the beach together and he goes, Sebastian's actually a really nice guy.
He's always got my back.
Yeah.
He's got a bad rep, but it's all bullshit.
Yes.
And Reese Witherspoon's just like, I don't know.
I don't know about that. He goes back to the mansion they're staying in, and Reese Witherspoon hears him just like jamming out to music in the pool room. Why don't you come to the pool and we'll have a swim in the night swim? And she goes, okay, let me go get my bathing suit. And Reese Witherspoon runs out and goes to get her bathing suit. She comes back into the pool room and she's like, where is he? He's naked in the corner getting ready.
You see his bare ass.
See his ass in the corner. And he goes, can I have some privacy to change into my swimsuit? And I was like, dude. And she's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. And I was like, what the fuck are you embarrassed for? He's out in the middle of the public. I would be like, get your ass in a changing room.
This isn't your house, bro.
Gratuitous fucking nudity. He tries to say, hey, we should get together. I feel for you. And she's like, no, good try.
Nice try. I know your game.
Yeah, I know the game. And she gets out of the pool and he's like, fuck.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar calls him. She's like, "Did you fuck her yet?
How's it going?" Because meanwhile,
apparently Selma Blair has this teacher. It sounds like we're jumping around a lot. There's a lot of plot in this movie. Yeah.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar is getting involved in Selma Blair's life because she's trying to ruin that. And Selma Blair has a cello teacher that she has some feelings for.
Sean Patrick Thomas, and he has some feelings for her too. She lets it slip to Christine Baranski, who's very racist in this.
Yes.
That, I think they are writing love letters to each other because Selma Blair confided in her.
That she was writing love letters, yeah.
Which actually leads to the scene you remember the most.
Yes.
Where they're having a picnic together.
Yes. she finds out from Selma Blair that they are writing love letters to each other and they have feelings for each other. And Selma Blair, God knows how old Selma Blair is supposed to be in this movie. I assume the same age as all of them. But she acts like she's in like 6th, 7th grade.
I kept wondering if she's supposed to be mentally challenged.
I know. It's the way she plays it is this overacting. Like she just is like this child. Like she just does it 100%. It's really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah, she's like a couple steps away from just sucking her thumb in some scenes.
It's so weird, but so fun. I think it's the funniest shit because I think it's so hilariously weird. But
it could be intentional.
They have a scene in the park where Sarah Michelle Gellar teaches Selma Blair how to make out with someone.
Yep.
And
also parodied in Not Another Teen Movie.
And they make out for about 30 to 40 seconds on screen.
Teaches her how to French, yeah. Because she does like screw Selma Blair over and like, because Christine Baranski finds the love letters.
So she
throws Sean Patrick Thomas out of her house after she took him off the streets.
Oh God. So there's this whole sequence where Christine Baranski finds the love letters that she hides under her dollhouse.
Come on.
God, Lord. and she goes, what is this? And she looks at Sean Patrick Thomas. She's like, how could you do this? I took you off the streets.
And he's like,
what does he say? What does he say?
I live like a couple blocks down.
Yeah, he lives in the same neighborhood, lives in an apartment. And she goes, well, my father.
He goes to Juilliard.
Yeah. He's like, it's like my husband and I donated money to Colin Powell.
I'm not racist.
it's
and he's
so
like,
bad.
Well, that's me told. And he just leaves because he's like, I don't need this. Fuck this.
Yeah. She calls Sarah Michelle Gellar crying.
Stop crying.
Cecile, stop crying. And all you hear the phone is, anyway, Ryan Felipe's back in the apartment with Sarah Michelle Gellar and gets the phone call too. And he says, you can come to me.
You come to me. You write Sean Patrick Thomas.
Yeah, Sean Patrick Thomas, the cello teacher.
Write him a love letter.
And I'll make sure he gets it.
I'll make sure he gets it. Your mom won't be involved.
Yes.
But then he uses this to seduce Selma Blair.
Yes. He gets her drunk and liquored up too. And because she's sipping a drink and she goes, this doesn't taste like an iced tea. And he goes, it's from Long Island. And it's like, oh, this is really tasty. And
starts photographing her.
You can't be sexy. She goes, I can be sexy, and does this
and fails at being sexy.
Oh God.
It's so
I think can we just get through this scene? Like, okay, you know what? He
goes down on her.
He goes down on her. We'll cut through that. Let's get through this. Oh God. Selma Blair is essentially using Ryan Philippe to get better at sex. And that's suggested by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you use it to do that?
They're manipulating the fuck out of her.
They're manipulating her. They're manipulating Sean Patrick Thomas. They're manipulating Reese Witherspoon. Everything's going to plan. This is all some big plot. So Ryan Philippe has the best chance to bed Reese Witherspoon.
Everything comes to a head at the end, eventually.
Reese Witherspoon actually is like, okay, maybe he's not such a bad guy. Maybe Ryan Philippe, Sebastian, is not an asshole. But just to prove it, Ryan Philippe manipulates a situation where they can go spend time with the elderly at a retirement home.
I'm such a good guy.
I'm such a good guy. Look at me. Yada, yada, yada. Just to get her on his side one more time. In order to do this, he visits one old lady and just hangs out on her couch. And then after a bit, he's like, oh, yeah, we played Pinochle. You beat me 3 times. Yes, I'm no good at it. She goes, we did. I was like, you're just using this lady's dementia against her. Such a sleazy asshole.
He's never caught off guard, though. Like,
never caught off guard.
Like, he's always like gotten out for all of these situations.
Yes. So Reese Witherspoon and the matron comes in and is like, how's it going? And she goes, we played Pinochle. He beat me 3 times. And he's like, 3 times. I guess I'm no good at it. Reese Witherspoon is like, oh, what a sweet boy.
Oh,
and they share a moment in the car together of him driving back, in the Jaguar.
Starts making funny faces at him.
Yeah. And he goes, maybe I am actually starting to care about this person. The rest of this movie is Ryan Philippe wants to win the bet, and he wants to bet his sister, but he also starts to really care about Reese Witherspoon.
He starts to fall for her, for real.
And he goes, fuck, I'm going to lose my car.
She wins. She starts winning him over because she sticks to her guns, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. She
cares about him.
And she does come to care about him. She sees like maybe some goodness in him and whatnot. Her true colors are, already out in the open. She's already a decent person. He starts to come around to that. And realize like maybe I don't want to be like this anymore. Maybe I
want something different.
Maybe
But not if Sarah Michelle Gellar has anything to fucking say about it. She's pissed.
I want that car.
She wants that. Not only is she okay with like losing the car, she's not okay with losing the car, but she doesn't want him to change.
No.
Because she's miserable and she wants this company. Because at least at the end of the day, they're shitty together.
Yep.
And if he goes there
They're
and
stronger.
becomes,
They're stronger together.
they're strong together. If he becomes this better person, she loses all of that, strength of two people together, but she's alone by herself. She's alone in her manipulation. And we might leave it here.
We should leave it here.
He wants to win the bet, but he really starts to care about Reese Witherspoon.
You know what almost slipped to my mind?
What?
Is a true character trait of Sarah Michelle Gellar is, how she says, every time I am in a tough situation, I turn to God. She holds up her rosary.
Yes.
Well, apparently, if you open that little cross up, there's cocaine in there.
There's lots of white powder that goes spill it out. Oh my God.
That's one of the funniest parts of the movie.
I don't even think we need to end this with anything. I think we'll just end that with that.
What if the casting was reversed? What if Joshua Jackson was the Ryan Phillippe character? Do you think it would have worked better? Because I think Ryan Phillippe is so unappealing in this movie.
Yeah.
As this womanizer.
Yes.
Like, you really see him for what he is. He's just a dirtbag, but he's just so weaselly. And I'm just like, how does he like actually charm women? I'm sorry. I think he's kind of miscast in this.
Ryan Phillippe has to change who he is because he meets an actually good person.
Yeah.
He can't, the people he's betting, the reason he's been able to do it is because they're just all shallow like he is. They're
true.
all shallow. That's what he's talking about. He's like, I'm tired of these New York socialite women. They're shallow. That's what he's saying. And finally he comes into Reese Witherspoon, who has morals and has like a sense of who she is and knows what she wants. And he meets his toughest challenge because he has to actually change for her. And I feel like that's kind of what it's going for instead of going for these wealthy socialite shallow women. That's essentially his challenge here.
At the end of the day, he doesn't care who he hurts, even if like who he hurts is, everybody's on the same pedestal as him. If that casting was switched, I would have bought it more.
All right, let's move on to the facts section. Just a reminder, these are real facts about the movie that I've researched and Nick has not seen before, and he's going to take time to read them for you. And again, these are real facts about horny teens and Cruel Intentions.
Fact number 1. Cruel Intentions was released on March 5th, 1999 to a $13 million opening weekend. It earned a total of $39.6 million while in theaters, placing it at number 2,112 on the inflation-adjusted domestic box office list. Some of its competition in the spring of '99 included Analyze This, starring OMG, He's Literally Me, Travis Bickle, Office Space, starring a stolen stapler, and The Prince of Egypt, starring Ray Fiennes, going hard as fuck on the soundtrack.
He went hard on that Prince of Egypt. Have you heard that song when he's like singing in there?
It's been a minute since I've seen Prince of Egypt, but I do really like Prince of Egypt.
Yes. You let my people go. He's just like going hard as shit as Ramses on that soundtrack.
That's right.
Dude, he's good. That's a great movie.
That's right.
I love Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt's good. I love Analyze This.
Yeah, Analyze This is great.
Office Space is really good too.
You're good, yo. You're good, yo. You got to squint like he does. Oh, there you go. It's good. So that was 99. Would you like to take a guess at top movies of 1999? Maybe top 3?
Top 3 of 99?
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Menace.
He's number 1. Good job. Number 1 domestically and worldwide.
What else came in 99?
Has Haley Joel Osment in it.
Oh, Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Shout out to Bruce Willis dealing with a lot still, man.
We love you.
Love you. There's a sequel to something that came out earlier in the 90s. It's an animated movie.
And Toy Story 2.
There you go.
That's
Toy Story
right,
2.
yeah.
Number 4 is The Matrix.
Hey, right on.
Number 5 is an animated movie. Tarzan with Phil Collins going hard as fuck on that soundtrack.
You'll be in my heart.
When destiny calls you. He's just like losing it in the booth.
I want to know. Can you show me?
Anyway, so those are the top movies in 99. And Cruel Intentions is nowhere near the top.
But did it do well?
It was decently well received. It earned its money back and I think made a little bit. I don't know. It's not a flop, but it's not anything stellar.
Definitely a cult hit, though.
Yes, much more well received later.
Fact number 2. The original title for the movie was actually Cruel Inventions. However, Columbia Pictures decided to change it due to multiple test audiences believing that it was a sci-fi film. Worst sci-fi movie ever.
Yep. So they went in, multiple audiences were like, I'm disappointed. This is nothing like Phantom Menace. Oh, man.
We like that one scene in the park, but this is nothing like Phantom Menace.
Pretty cool, but everything else kind of sucked, if you ask me. My study.
I'm just thinking of Robot Chicken.
Yeah. Can somebody give me a shock?
Fact number 3. When Sebastian is handing Catherine the 17 magazine to read, on the cover is Jennifer Love Hewitt, who appeared with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillippe in I Know What You Did Last Summer from '97. One of the producers, Neil H. Moritz, who had worked on I Know What You Did Last Summer, helped cast the Cruel Intentions film, and would have casted Jennifer Love Hewitt, but it would have been renamed to Cruel Summer.
By Bananarama. He was trying, at one point they were like, you can't keep casting people from I Know What You Did Last Summer in this movie. Because they was just going through, it was like Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe. There's, I think, one more as well in there. There was almost just I Know What You Did Last Summer, except hornier.
Fact number 4. Columbia Pictures originally wanted Katie Holmes to play the character of Annette Hargrove. However, writer and director Roger Kumble didn't think she had enough, quote, strength of character for the role. He then asked co-star Ryan Phillippe about his then-girlfriend Reese Witherspoon. Kumble came up with the plan, quote, take her out to dinner and get her drunk, end quote, and ask her to play the role. However, it backfired when Kumble ended up getting drunk himself and begged Witherspoon to play the role, which she reluctantly agreed to. Art imitating life, imitating art.
Please, baby, be in my movie. Please be in my movie. Please be in my movie. Please be in my movie. This is exactly what are we talking about. This is how Kong started, and it was like how
Mary Elizabeth
Winstead got asked to be in Black Christmas 2006. Please be in my movie, baby, please.
Come on, do it, please. I mean, I'm glad it's Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
She is good in the movie.
She is great, yeah. That's how these people got the roles. And I do want to say, I read a story, I have to find it again, where the reason Selma Blair got casted as Cecile is she came into the audition with Kumble. Oh, so you're going to be reading for Cecile? And she goes, oh, so you're going to be reading for Cecile, like making fun of him in his face. And he was like, what the hell? She just acted and made fun of him the whole time as this like small 12-year-old girl, essentially. And he's like, you got the role. God damn it. Play the role like that, which she does.
I could see Katie Holmes playing this
Annette Hargrove?
innocent gal. Yeah.
We're on to the What a Story mark. Again, this is the most interesting fact I found about the movie. Researched, and Nick's going to read it live for you. And again, vein of our hero Tommy Wiseau. Ha 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 ha.
What a story, Mark. During their infamous kissing scene, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair were not meant to produce the string of spit when they pulled apart. But after someone on set noticed, they had to do the scene again and again and again. Cinematographer Theo Van de Sande proclaimed, quote, that spittle was beautiful, end quote. Twilight may be the horniest movie because of the actors, but this is the horniest crew I've ever seen.
This is the horniest crew I've ever seen.
I remember watching that and thinking, ugh, when I saw that.
Jesus, they have like a little train of spit that gets stuck, and they loved it so much they had to keep doing it and try to like get all nice and sloppy. Oh. Yeah, God.
That's parody too, and not another teen movie.
But it's just
like the grossest part of the
movie, dude. It's so fucking horny, dude. Like the story, the actors sometimes playing it. Now the crew, everyone's just like, everyone needs to go to horny jail. What's that meme with the dog? Bonk, go to horny jail. Nick, what would you give that fact out of 5 marks?
Out of 5 marks? I'll give you some Johnnies, but no marks. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty good. I'll give you 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 marks. Okay, fair enough.
That's gross, though. Mm-hmm. Made them do it over again because they're like, oh, that's so beautiful. I was like, ew. Have you seen the sequels to this?
No.
Me neither. What would you rate this?
Great bit. Love it.
What would you double feature this movie with?
That's a good question. What's a double feature to this?
Yeah.
Not another teen movie, maybe? No.
The Skulls, maybe?
The Skulls?
The Skulls with Paul Walker and Joshua Jackson.
What's in that? What's that one?
It's like this movie about, it's been forever, but it's like this movie about this secret society of that takes place at this prep school or something. Mm-hmm. I forget, one of them gets indoctrinated into it, and it's just like a cult or something of like bro dudes or something. I'm probably getting that really wrong, but
no, this is the 2019 Black Christmas. I've seen this.
No.
All right. You know what? To be honest, we had to cut because there was a truck outside and we went looking because I was like, I can't find a fucking good one. We found a good one that could double feature with this. Look, we have not seen this movie. It's called Gossip. James Marsden as Derek, Lena Headey as Jones, Norman Reedus as Travis, Kate Hudson as Naomi, and Joshua Jackson again. And
all of
the story is, they have a class project they all work on. They decide on gossip. They decide to start a rumor stating that Naomi Preston, Kate Hudson's character, who has admitted that she is saving herself for marriage, was seen at a crowded college party having sex with Joshua Jackson.
Ooh.
They aim to track the rumor and see how it spreads and evolves, but they're shocked when Naomi promptly accuses Bo of sexual assault.
Uh-oh.
This is crazy.
Bo is Joshua Jackson.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This seems like the perfect double feature.
There you go.
Maybe this is the first one you play. This is a thriller. It's supposed to be a thriller. It's a 28 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's probably not good.
What year was this?
2000. 1 year later.
Wow. This was probably made in response to Cruel Intentions.
Yes. I can see something like that. There's not much that can pair with this. It's really its own thing. It pairs with any young adult horny movie.
Unless you know enough about this genre, which we really don't.
We don't
spend time.
We don't know a
these
ton
kind of,
about rom-com.
romance dramas.
I mean, there's you can have good rom-coms, right?
This isn't a rom-com.
I know, but this isn't quite a rom-com. It's just something that's kind of exists on the outline. This isn't like She's All That or like, you know, any of the John Hughes, Molly Ringwald movies. Like these aren't anything like that. You could argue those are rom-coms, but this is like an outlier.
I find this entertaining enough. It has its watchability to it. Even has a rewatchability to it.
Yes.
This isn't really for me, but I was never bored, and it is kind of a fascinating watch. To someone like me who didn't really grow up on this or has really any interest in kind of these teen drama romance things.
Sure.
But it did keep my attention, and the performances, I think, are memorable enough for it. Because again, like everyone's overacting in this.
Yeah.
This gets a 64.
Yeah. I'm kind of on at that. I just really think that some of the performances are really funny, like Selma Blair and even Sarah Michelle Gellar being like the icy bitch that we all. Everyone wants to be shady. I would say this gets like a 59. It's like a 59. Like it has some fun, but yeah, it's like a 59. 59 plus 64 divided by 2 is a 61.5. 61.5 for Cruel Intentions. See it, I guess, if you want.
Yeah.
I can't say I'd recommend this. If you're not into sleaze factor movies, you're going to hate this.
I think the sleaze factor is what makes it very watchable,
yes.
though. You're just kind of appalled
if you
watching
watch
these characters do these things to each other.
This is what you want to watch. This is insanely memorable.
You want to watch a movie full of snakes, check this out.
Yes.
Definitely.
Everyone backstabs and everyone's a shitty person besides Reese Witherspoon.
Hella manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the final portion. This is the Will I Let Nick in the Club bit. Again, I'm a bouncer outside the club, and I'm going to give Nick a set of requirements. He has to name a movie for me to get into the club that I enjoy that falls into the requirement. And if he does, I'll let him in. If not, he ain't getting in. All right, Nick, can you just name me a movie? We can't be one we talked about today. Can we just name me a movie that's just horny as shit?
A horny as shit movie.
Horny as shit like movie.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that is a horny movie.
Yeah. That movie's a lot of things, but it definitely is horny.
It's horny at the end of the day. Yeah, you know what? I'll let you in the club for that. Good job. I do enjoy Wolf of Wall Street. That's a horny ass movie. Thank you for listening and watching this episode of the 1.5 White Guys podcast, or more, it's listened to white guy opinions on movies for long. Be sure to follow us, rate us, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast from. We're mostly on Spotify. And be sure to follow us on our Instagram at 1.5 White Guys podcast, on TikTok at 1.5 White Guys, and now on our YouTube at 1.5 White Guys.
And be sure to tell a friend to listen to the podcast where we say we're going to talk about a movie, and we kind of talk about the movie. Cruel Intentions, it's a fun enough romp in like the YA genre, but it does have one of the best uses of Bittersweet Symphony by the Verve.
Yeah. they needle drop Bittersweet Symphony at the end, which is, you might ask, what else did the Verve make? Doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's just Bittersweet Symphony. Yeah, we all know that one. Nick, I have a bet for you.
Yes.
This isn't horny at all. This is just hungry. We got to go eat soon. I'm just going to eat an entire cheeseburger in 30 seconds.
Oh, you're on.
Yeah.
What do I get if you don't?
Nothing. That's it. I'm just saying I can do it. See, this is non-toxic betting. All right. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your Valentine's Day with this movie.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Because, again, love is not really found in this movie.
No love to be found.